The Elk River Elks entered the postseason as the #1 seed in the Section 7 4A tournament. In the semifinals, though, Champlin Park would hang right with the #1 seed until the second half, when they relied on their big men to blow the game open. Sophomore center Matt Annan helped out with 21 points and 22 rebounds, and junior forward Josh Vargas added 20 points as the Elks came away with a 20-point victory. The Coon Rapids Cardinals were the #2 seed, and in the semifinals drew a familiar opponent in the Blaine Bengals. After trailing much of the game, the Cardinals came back with hot shooting from Paul Cito and the quick hands of Sam Fortin. Fortin's steal, bucket, and foul at the other end put the Cardinals up for good. And with under a minute to play, Ben Handy missed in the lane, and the rebound popped out to the hands of Fortin again. He looked down court to Dan Anderson, whose bucket would seal the deal, putting the Cardinals ahead by 4 with just seconds to play. Now these two teams will meet in the Section 7 4A championship, with a trip to the state tournament hanging in the balance. It's the Elks and the Cardinals next on CTN. Hello everyone and welcome to Champlin Park High School, site of the Section 7 4A Boys Basketball Championship. Tonight, the Elk River Elks, the #1 seed in the tournament, welcome the #2 seeded Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro on the sideline. And Howie, I anticipate a very good game between two very strong teams, but obviously, the nod has to go to the Elk River Elks here.
Well, certainly, Elks have got a great season, 6 losses on the season. They played very well. They're a very interesting team because they've got the size on the inside and they've got the speed on the outside, and that's the one thing that the Cardinals are going to have to watch is that outside shooting.
And through the season, of course, these two teams, both in the Northwest Suburban Conference, have a history together, but the Elks pretty dominant in both of those meetings earlier this year.
Well, in the first meeting, Ricky Taylor and Sam Fortin did not play, so that's a big part of the Cardinal offense. But when they played in the second time during the season, Elks took over. So certainly the Cardinals have their work cut out for them tonight.
Now the Elks come in led by two young but very strong inside players. Matt Annan at center, just a sophomore, and junior Jake Vargas.
Oh, it's really kind of tough. It's kind of tough which one to talk about, but we're going to talk a little bit about Josh Vargas, averaging almost 15 points a game. And the key to Josh Vargas is that he's as dangerous from the outside as he is from the inside. He is probably the most complete player on this Elk River team.
Now for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, it's been guard play that's been important all season long. We talked a lot about Paul Cito throughout the season, but in the semifinals, really the spark came off the bench in #14, junior Sam Fortin.
Sam really had a great game against Blaine, and you're right, he provided that spark. And the one thing that the Elk River team is concerned about is the penetration by the Cardinals. Sam Fortin is excellent at it, and that's one of the things, the keys for the Cardinals tonight to win this game.
And another key, of course, will be trying to stop that strong Elk River offense. And something the Cardinals were able to do pretty well against Blaine was work in that 2-3 zone.
Well, certainly, if the Cardinals are going to win this game, they're going to want to play exactly as they did against the Orioles from Osseo. They played their most complete game, and that's what they'll have to do tonight.
Well, we'll see who will come out on top. It's the Elks and the Cardinals next on CTN. The winner goes to the state tournament. The loser goes home.
Degrade you in the process. We will hug you. But we won't taunt you or call you names. We will hug you. When the game's over, we'll shake your hands and go out for a soda or something.
Fact: students in high school activities gain a better sense of sportsmanship. A message from the Minnesota State High School League.
It's my birthday. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I told you, don't be bringing that weak stuff in here. Yeah. Who's the man? Who's the man?
exercised lately?
Welcome back to Champlin Park High School. There you see the records favor the Elk River Elks quite a bit, 18-6 to 9-13. But it doesn't matter much. It all comes down to tonight. Take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the visitors. The Coon Rapids Cardinals, the number 2 seed in the tournament. Sam Fortin and Dan Anderson in the backcourt. Paul Cito and Brett Amundsen up front. Grant Schutte in the middle. And behind the bench, in his 5th season as coach of the Coon Rapids Cardinals, Gary Rover.
And Joe, certainly we talked about in the opening that they've got to be concerned about Vargas and Annan, and certainly the Cardinals, what they're going to do offensively. They're going to try and move the ball around, I think, the perimeter. And I think you're going to see a lot of shooting from there on the outside.
For the Elk River Elks, they'll start with Mike Jorgensen and Chase Bowdry in the backcourt, Josh Vargas and Jake Carlson up front, and Matt Annan in the middle. And a very young lineup. Jake Carlson, the only senior starter. And in his 3rd season behind the bench, Randy Clausen, head coach of the Elk River Elks.
Randy Clausen told me he wants to make sure Matt Annan is involved in the entire game, make sure he gets his offense going quickly.
The opening tip is won by Annan, but comes to the Coon Rapids Cardinals, and they will have the first possession. Sam Fortin goes to the left side, Schutte to Amundsen in the corner. Back up top, Cito for 3, and he banks it in. The Cardinals on the board first.
And that's a big way for the Cardinals to start getting Paul Cito off to an early, quick start is exactly what they'd like to do.
Chase Bowdry on the left side, over to Mike Jorgensen. The Cardinals will start in that 2-3 high zone. And the Elks will take their time. Annan in the corner, back up top for Jorgensen. And Chase Bowdry on the left, back to Jorgensen. In the corner is Carlson. Carlson looking for room, back up top to Jorgensen. And the Elks not showing a lot of hurry. Carlson to the baseline, back to Carlson. Carlson dribbles in, and he's called for the travel, so the Cardinals score on their first possession. The Elks commit a turnover.
Well, certainly a tough pressure situation for both squads, but the Cardinals playing a zone defense. They're either going to play a 2-3 or a 1-3-1 pretty much throughout this game. They want to confuse them, and that is the key for Gary Rovers, to confuse them a little bit, trip them up, and make sure that they can get off to a quick start.
The Elks, meanwhile, start in a man-to-man defense. Dan Anderson driving, kicks it back out up top. Paul Cito on the left wing. Watch. Now it's Dan Anderson on the right side. Back up top. Sam Fortin going to the lane. His pass goes off a foot, and it's taken away by Chase Bowdry. Stolen right back by Paul Cito.
A nice anticipation move by Paul Cito to pick off that pass.
Three-point attempt is no good. Bowdry down with the rebound. And the Elks back into their offense. Vargas back up top. And on the left side, Jorgensen up top now. Back to Bowdry on the left. Into the corner. Carlson open for 3. That's off the iron, and number 22, Dan Anderson, down with the rebound.
Now, it's important defensively for the Cardinals to get the rebounds. They don't want to give the Elks any second opportunities on missed shots.
Anderson looking for penetration, backs out. Fortin working around, kicks it out. Another three-point attempt for Schutte. This one won't go. Carlson down with the rebound.
The one thing the Elks have right underneath the board is a little size advantage coming down with that rebound.
Annan with a shot on the baseline won't go. Carlson can't control the rebound, and coming up with it is Dan Anderson.
Now, Cardinals are smart here to slow it down a little bit, set up an offensive play.
Three-point attempt for Amundsen won't go. Rebound out of bounds to the Cardinals. And our first substitutions of the game is A.C. Matthews and Ricky Taylor check in for the Cardinals, and Jason Bronson onto the floor for the Elks.
Oh, certainly Coach Rover likes to substitute. He's going to get fresh players in and out of this lineup.
Right side, Ricky Taylor with the ball, watched by Carlson, cross court. Fortin gets a pick from Schutte up top. Fortin will let go the three. That won't go. Carlson down with the rebound.
Sam Fortin getting the opportunity at the top of the key, couldn't make it, get that shot to stay.
Annan on the baseline, kicks it back out. Jorgensen, they rotated around. And Carlson in the corner, watched closely by A.C. Matthews. Jorgensen to Vargas at the free throw line. He's all kinds of double teamed. Got to Jorgensen, he tried baseline, kicks it back out up top. Vargas on the left side for Bronson. He goes baseline, kicks it out. Carlson lost the ball. Sam Fortin comes up with it. Fortin driving, finger roll. It's down and count it.
And that's big. Sam Fortin, we talked about it, Joe. He certainly takes charge of this team. He did a nice move, penetration to the basket, got it to fall. We'll pick up the foul, a chance for a 3-point.
Josh Vargas going to be called for the foul.
Now we talked about this earlier. The Elks do not want Sam Fortin to penetrate the baseline. He certainly did there. And they find themselves trailing 5-0 early here in this first quarter.
The Elks' future looks very bright. As we mentioned, just one starter as a senior, as Fortin makes it a 6-0 game in favor of the Cardinals. But Vargas, an outstanding player and just a junior. Matt Annan also at 6'5" center, a very strong player as well. That one goes off the hands of Jorgensen, out of bounds. Another turnover for the Elks.
Defensively for the Cardinals, they're doing a very good job on Josh Vargas. What they're doing is they're not letting him get open for his shot. Once he gets the ball, they're collapsing two players on him, making him pass the ball, not letting him beat the Cardinals.
Paul Cito trying to penetrate, and he's called for steps.
I think the Cardinals see an opportunity, a small hole in the Elk defense to try and get that penetration move.
Chase Bowdry gets it into the front court for Bronson. Vargas in the corner, back up top. Bowdry on the right side. Watched by Fortin into the corner, and it will bring it back up top. Bowdry to Bronson to Carlson in the corner. And this Cardinal high zone is very effective, and the Elks really have not had a good look at the basket yet. And it thought about going inside and then kicks it back out. Bowdry will take the three and hit it.
And good work moving the ball around the perimeter by the Elks, allowing Bowdry to let be open for the three. Chase Bowdry, a good athlete. We've seen him play on the Elk River football team.
Fortin penetrates, kicks out. Taylor thought about three, puts it back down. Cito across court. He steps inside. His shot won't go. Schutte down with the rebound.
And a great rebound by Grant Schutte, and a great play to kick it out.
Going to the lane is Cito, and he scores.
Paul Cito strong to the lane, took advantage of the opening.
Bronson on the left wing for the Elks. Back up top for Chase Bowdry inside. Annan, nice pass to Carlson. And he is going to draw the foul on A.C. Matthews.
Oh, the game plan for the Elks certainly is to not let the Cardinals shoot from the perimeter. And the Cardinals are doing a good job of penetrating inside, taking that defense out of the picture for the Elks.
Matt Paulson into the game for the Cardinals. Jesse Hetrick onto the floor for the Elks. Both number 54s and both tall guys. Vargas off the inbounds, goes to the lane and scores.
Well, you saw the strength of Josh Vargas as he took it to the inside. 8-5 in favor of the Cardinals. So look at the officials. There's Ralford Dixon and Ken McDonald on the other side.
Ricky Taylor brings it into the front court for the Cardinals. Amundsen on the right wing. Back up top for Dan Anderson. Anderson finds some room. Bowdry got a hand on it. It will go out off of the Elks. Cardinals will keep it.
Well, Joe, you can really see the Cardinals working on that penetration move every time they bring the ball down the court. They feel that's their best way to score.
Anderson with a fake, steps inside. Paulson rebound, won't go. Coming down with it is Jesse Hetrick.
And Matt had great positioning underneath, just couldn't get that one to drop. Sometimes that's almost too easy.
From the corner, Vargas no good. Dan Anderson down with the rebound.
And a nice move by Dan Anderson to step in front of Vargas to pick up the rebound.
Cardinals still holding on to that three-point lead. Taylor's pass knocked away by Hetrick. The Cardinals will keep the ball.
Well, you know,
Pat Telke into the game for the first time for the Cardinals, and Grant Schutte returns to the floor as well. And Sam Fortin. A lot of switching up for the Cardinals.
Well, and I think what they're trying to do, again, is confuse them a little bit and bring some fresh bodies off the bench, because you don't see Elk River substituting quite as freely as the Cardinals.
Cardinals already 9 men deep. Stepping inside the line is Fortin. His shot won't go. And down with the rebound is Vargas.
Again, Sam with a nice look at the basket.
Hetrick up top, quick pass from Vargas to Annan. Three-pointer for Boudry on the way. That won't go. And down with the rebound is Ricky Taylor.
Joe, last time the Elks were in this building, they lost to Champlin Park, and they lost because Champlin Park played a good matchup zone, and the Elks were very cold from the field.
Grant Schutte fouled as he goes to the baseline. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Matt Annan called for his first.
Well, Coach Rover told me that he was going to take his offense right at the Elk defense, as witnessed there by that move by Grant Schutte. But Joe, these are awfully important free throws. As you said in the opening, it's win and go on, lose and go home.
First one rolls around and down for Grant Schutte. That'll make it 9-5 in favor of the Cardinals.
Elks moving to a little bit of a smaller lineup. Matt Annan's coming out, Mike Jorgensen coming back in for Elk River.
Schutte hits them both.
And those are big free throws for Grant Schutte.
Makes it a 10-5 lead in favor of Coon Rapids, down to about a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Hetrick kicks it back up top for Beaudry. Jorgensen in the corner. And again, fast passing for the Elks. Vargas going baseline, and he travels.
And defensively, Coon Rapids doing a great job at staying with the pass. Elk River's trying to move it quickly around the perimeter, but the defense for Coon Rapids is there to the task so far early in this first quarter.
A.C. Matthews back onto the floor for the Cardinals, and Coach Gary Rover so far likes what he's seen from his Cardinal defense.
Well, certainly an athletic team out there.
On the right wing is Ricky Taylor. He's watched by Jorgensen, or Bronson rather. Grant Schutte will bring it up top. Left side for Pat Telke. Up top, Ricky Taylor.
It looks like defensively, the Elks are making some adjustments to try to keep the Cardinals out from penetrating.
Sam Fortin working against Chase Boudry. Got it to A.C. Matthews on the wing. Back up top for Ricky Taylor working against Bronson.
Well, Cards looking to hold for the last shot of this first quarter, leading 10-5.
In the corner is Pat Telke, and he'll reset it up top for Sam Fortin. Mike Jorgensen doesn't want to give up a lot of room. To Fortin, who is definitely dangerous. Came off the bench with 19 points in the semifinal game against Blaine. Helped them on their big fourth quarter comeback to win and advance to this game tonight.
Well, Cardinals smartly playing, keeping the ball, controlling for this last shot.
Telke to Taylor, or Matthews in the corner. He takes it inside, blocked by Hetrick. Schutte got it, his won't go. Rebound will hit the floor as the buzzer sounds.
Joe, that certainly has to be a good thing for the Elk River defense, not letting the Cardinals score after controlling the ball for that much time. Cardinals had a couple good opportunities underneath, but the Elk River players got their hands under enough to block the ball so they couldn't get it back up for the lay-in.
And really just not a lot of shooting for the Elks in that first quarter. They only took 6 shots.
Well, certainly 5 points in the first quarter for Elk River. That's something they obviously cannot be happy with.
And when you talk about the previous 2 meetings, 62 points in each event for the Elks, and certainly they didn't have a quarter like that.
Well, no, definitely not, and that goes credit to this defense for Coon Rapids. They're playing really tough right now, and that's what they're going to have to do to continue that defense as well as continue boxing out in order to win this game.
And the Cardinals have also gotten to the line, and the Elks have not.
Now, we talked about Matt Annan, what a great night he had against Champlin Park. He was 9 of 10 from the line.
And the team leader for the Cardinals is taking it on his shoulders. He's got 5 points in that first quarter, so he scored as much as the Elk River team.
Yeah, they certainly need a big night from Paul Cito.
Chase Boudry will bring things into the front court for the Elks to start the second quarter. Right side, Jorgensen trying to feed it inside. Will kick it back out. Carlson on the left wing. Annan can't find room on the baseline. Backs out. Carlson gets inside. His shot rolls around and down.
And a nice move by Jake Carlson. Cards in a 1-3-1 defense. Did a nice move to get close to the basket, enough to put it up and in.
Elks putting a little pressure on in the backcourt. And Chase Bowdry called with the foul, as he did not want Sam Fortin to get around the corner.
Well, I think in that break between periods, Coach Clausen told his team not to let him penetrate. And defensively, Elks play a man. That's not always easy to do.
That's the third team foul on the Elks. The Cardinals with just one. Ricky Taylor on the wing, working against Carlson, goes cross court. Fortin thought about shooting, goes baseline, kicks it back out to shooting. Taylor takes it inside and scores.
And a nice move by Ricky Taylor as he reversed to get that lay-in.
Cardinals hustle back on defense, and the Elks will slow it down again. Hetrick got it to Carlson. He almost lost it, but recovers. Hetrick to Annan on the baseline. He's fouled. He'll shoot two.
Certainly, defensively, there's not a lot you could do in that situation. Gannon getting that close to the basket. You have to pick up the foul and make sure that that doesn't go in.
Pat Telke called for the foul.
Look at the defense by the Cardinals, with Annan doing a great job of pressuring inside.
And Grant Schutte doing a nice job of making sure after the foul that ball did not go in.
Well, that's exactly what you want to make sure. If you're going to pick up the ball, make sure that ball does not go down.
Josh Vargas back on the floor for the Elks, as is Sam Fortin for the Cardinals. Jesse Hetrick to the bench. And another tall player, Jesse Hetrick at 6'4". Annan hits them both, and the lead is down to 3.
Seeing some pressure defense by Elk River.
And a 5-second violation called against the Cardinals. That is something that almost cost the Cardinals their victory in the semifinal round.
Well, Blaine did a great job of pressuring him on the inbound pass.
Carlson, quick pass, quick shot for Vargas is good.
A nice offensive play by the Elks. They drew the defense in, leaving Vargas alone for the quick one from the outside.
The lead down to 1. The pass gets away. Bowdry dishes to Vargas, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Now, if we can get an opportunity to see that, I'm not sure where they called it on Fortin, but it looked like he may have had all ball. We'll take another look underneath. I don't see anybody there.
Nope.
And Sam a little disappointed in the call, and he has a right to be.
So the Elks with a chance to take their first lead of the night. Rattles it in and down. Vargas has 5. And the Cardinals call timeout.
Now, Coach Rover's going to make them think about it, but certainly Elk River doing a great job of getting back into this quickly, because they could have lost a lot of momentum, and if the Cardinals had been able to put in some shots a little bit earlier, they maybe had a bigger lead. But to the credit of Elk River, they came back to tie this up.
Take a look at how these two teams got here, the Elks and the Cardinals, the two teams with byes in the Section 7 4A tournament. The only upset so far in the tournament was Champlin Park with a minor upset over Anoka in the first round, playing easily by the Flying Saints of St. Francis. And then the Cardinals with a very exciting 1-point victory over Blaine in the semis. And Elk River with a huge second half to blow away the Rebels. And that brings us to this evening's game, where we are tied a minute and a half into the second quarter. Josh Vargas misses the second free throw, and Pat Telke down with the rebound.
And a nice positioning by Telke underneath to grab that board.
Fortin kicks it to the left side. Ricky Taylor works it up top. Now back to the left. Kicks it out. Shooting from 16 feet. That won't go. Down with the rebound is Vargas.
A nice job, Vargas, by boxing out to get that board on the shooting miss.
Jorgensen up top will get it to Chase Bowdry.
Card staying in a 1-3-1 zone.
Bowdry finds some room, shoots, no good. Annan down with the rebound. And he's fouled.
You can see the strength of him head in and underneath the basket. Certainly he's a presence there. He's making it felt right now.
Grant Schutte called for his first foul. And all of a sudden, Cardinals with 3 straight.
And not necessarily the man you want to put on the line. As I mentioned earlier, 9 of 10 against Champlin Park.
He misses the first. He's 2 for 3 from the line tonight. Interestingly, though, 6'5", that's his first rebound tonight.
Well, because Cardinals doing a good job defensively keeping out from underneath there. Good job of boxing out.
He hits the second. And now the Elks do have their first lead of the night. And a lot of backcourt pressure, but they left Brett Amundsen all alone. He scores at the other end.
That time a breakdown in the Elk defense. Sometimes that'll happen when you put a little too much pressure on. You get a player down court, and Amundsen gets a bucket.
Nice job of the Cardinals to see the man open and get it to it. Jorgensen on the right wing to Annan on the baseline. He's fouled. No, they're going to call him for the charge. A great job by Grant Schutte of getting placement on the baseline.
Hey, a nice positioning by Schutte to draw that charge.
Another look at it from right down in there, and it's a good call. Grant Schutte definitely planted his feet and did not move. Of course, the big thing that happens a lot is players will get the position, but then will jump up and end up committing the blocking foul, but Schutte keeping his feet planted. Another Elk River foul. This one is on the floor, and it is going against Jake Carlson, his first.
Well, offensively, again, the Cardinals are trying to get back to what got them this lead in the first place, is that penetration. And Sam Fortin is the best player on this team to penetrate, and he's taking the opportunity to do so.
Paul Cito up top. Nice pass to Brett Amundsen inside. He scores, and the Cardinals' lead is back to 3.
Well, that's how Paul Cito leads. Not only does he lead by scoring, but he leads by assists, and he had a nice pass there to Amundsen.
Jorgensen, cross court to Bronson. Up top, Chase Beaudry. And again, the Elks being patient and looking for a good shot. Inside, Vargas on the baseline, turns, shoots, scores.
A nice fadeaway by Josh Vargas, just a strength again, getting that bucket.
Sam Fortin stumbled, but regained control and got it across midcourt to Brett Amundsen. Fortin shoots, no good. And down with the rebound is Vargas.
Now Fortin with the runner, just couldn't get it to drop.
About midway through the second quarter, the Cardinals on top by a point. And Brett Amundsen will be called for the push in the corner.
Brett lost positioning a little bit and had to do something, and he got the push. That is the 15th foul on the Cardinals.
Dan Anderson and AC Matthews back onto the floor for the Cardinals. Amundsen and Fortin return to the bench. Bronson inbounds to Hetrick, up top for Beaudry. In the corner, Bronson for 3, that won't go. The rebound to Ricky Taylor. Down court, Dan Anderson kicks it out to Cito alone for 3, he hits it.
And I'll tell you, Elk River must defend Paul Cito because they cannot leave him open with that kind of room to take a shot at the basket. And just a nice...
His second three-pointer of the game. He leads all scorers with 8.
And a nice pass by Dan Anderson, too, and get him open.
Bronson called for steps. Another turnover for the Elks.
Now, certainly, the Cardinals doing what they want to do to confuse the Elk team. And right now, with the lead by 4, they're certainly accomplishing that goal. Sam Fortin's going to check in for the Cards. Ricky Taylor's going to take a seat on the bench.
Joel Cordy onto the floor for the Elks, his first PT of the night. And Fortin brings it across midcourt into the corner for Schutte. Dan Anderson up top, gets penetration, kicks it back out to Schutte. He kicks it out, almost stolen away by Bronson. And now Anderson on the baseline shoots and scores.
Nice move by Dan Anderson. Good athletic move. Get up and over.
Great job by Paul Cito to find him, though. The Cardinal lead is back to 6. Jake Carlson on the left, double team. Up top, Bronson into the corner. Vargas for 3, he hits it.
Now the one thing with allowing Josh Vargas that much room, he's going to hit it. Cuts the lead to 3.
Left wing, Grant Schutte, watched by Jesse Hetrick. He'll put it on the floor and hand it off to Paul Cito. Up top, Sam Fortin kicks it out, knocked away by Josh Vargas, out of bounds.
Well, one thing the Cardinals have to make sure they do not do is get sloppy with their passes, because the Elks are a quick team as well. They'll take advantage of that and get the steal.
Drew Ryder into the game for the first time for the Cardinals. And Ricky Taylor returns to the floor, as well as Fortin and Dan Anderson get a chance to head to the bench. 2.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. 21-18 the score in favor of Coon Rapids. Looking to knock off the top-seeded Elk River Elks and get a trip to the XL Energy Center in the 2001 State Boys Basketball Tournament. Ricky Taylor looking for penetration. His pass taken away by Bronson, and he's fouled.
And I think that was a good Cardinal foul, because Bronson had a pretty good clear path to the basket, that he was able to control that.
Number 20, Drew Ryder, his first 16 foul.
Going to call that on Drew Ryder, his first.
That's going to be the last foul the Cardinals have to give. The next one will give the Elks a 1-and-1 opportunity. Hetrick up top, goes to Bronson in the corner. His pass knocked away by Grant Schutte and stolen by A.C. Matthews.
Yeah, great anticipation by Grant Schutte to step in front of that pass. He has seen that pass come before.
Taylor looking for penetration. His pass a little too far ahead of Paul Cito, out of bounds to the Elks.
Well, that time Paul had the opening underneath, but as you said, a little bit too far, couldn't get enough. Actually got too much on it. But Paul was open underneath.
Jake Carlson on the left wing, up top for Hetrick. Right side is Bronson. He's watched by Paul Cito. He'll take his time into the corner. Vargas thought baseline, now kicks it back out. Up top, Cordy looking for penetration and draws the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
Well, we're seeing Grant Schutte come over on Josh Vargas quite a bit, and he's really trying to make sure that Vargas stays out of his game.
Drew Ryder called for his second foul quickly, and he will come to the, no, maybe not. Ricky Taylor will come to the bench as Sam Fortin returns to the floor. Cordy at the line shooting a 1-and-1.
Well, certainly the Cardinals giving the top-seeded Elks all they can handle here this evening.
He misses the front end. Hetrick had a chance at the rebound. The rebound still bouncing around. Cordy finally controls. A shot for Hetrick won't go, and a foul on the rebound.
It's gonna be on Vargas. They're gonna call Vargas for his foul.
Number 42, Josh Vargas.
That's his second.
And the Elk River fans do not like that call.
And for Coon Rapids, number 15, Ricky Taylor.
Coach Randy Clausen, I don't think he likes that call as well, and Vargas is going to take a seat at on the bench. The Elk defensively is getting away from that pressure defense that worked for them a little bit earlier in this period.
Sam Fortin in control to the corner for Telke. He goes back up top. Right side, Sam Fortin.
We'll see if the Cards try and hold for the last shot with we're under a minute.
Taylor back out to Telke, and it looks like they will do just that. Fortin watched by Cordy. Right side, Grant Schutte working against Jesse Hetrick. Up top for Ricky Taylor. We're down to 40 seconds. Sam Fortin watched by Cordy, gets a high pick from Schutte. And now gets another one. Down to 25 seconds. Fortin back up top. Grant Schutte right back to Sam Fortin.
Cards are going to look for an opening underneath.
trying to spread the Elks defense. Fortin stops, kicks it out. And now Fortin down to 7, kicks it out. Shooting on the baseline is fouled. No, they're going to call him for the offensive.
They say that he charged just a little bit too hard, and that's going to give the ball to the Elks with 3.9 seconds remaining.
Matt Lee getting the position underneath and drawing that foul. 3.9 ticks left in the half, and the Elks with a chance to tie.
We see A.C. Matthews come in the lineup for Grant Schutte, a little more athletic lineup there.
And the Cardinals back off their defense. Not going to let him. Bronson with a shot at the buzzer won't go. And the Cardinals will go to the locker room with a lead.
Now, certainly they have to be happy where they are at this situation, up by 3 at the break. Cardinals will just have to go into the locker room and continue to work on playing their game.
And they have really done everything right, the Coon Rapids Cardinals, in this first half. And the hustle defense has really kept them in this game. And nobody can be happier with the way they're playing than head coach Gary Rover. He's standing by with our sideline man, Larry Cassidy. Larry.
That's right. Coach, 3-point lead at halftime. How are you feeling?
Well, we've got to shoot a little bit better, and defensively we got to pick it up a little bit. Their press bothered us a little bit, and every possession is going to be a battle, and we just got to do a better job with the ball. Elk River is a great team. They're a really good team. Our kids are playing hard. They're playing well, but we got to maintain it now for the last 16 minutes. So if we can, I'll be happy. Right now we got a lot of work to do yet.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Okay.
Coach. Joe and Howie, back up to you.
Well, you can't be very surprised about Coach Rover not being one to get overly excited after only half a game.
Well, you know, I think, Joe, you're right. And I think the key to this is the fact that they've really rotated their bench quite a bit. And I think they're throwing some different looks at the Elk River defense. And I think that's what's really kind of caused them a little bit of a trouble here.
Well, we will take a break and be back with second half action from Champlain Park High School right after this.
Don't you love that safe, free feeling you get in a pickup truck, Larry?
Yeah, nothing but you, me, the open road, a deer.
Yeah! A cow! Yeah! An ostrich! Ah! The village people! The village people?
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Especially in pickup trucks.
I didn't know the village people were doing a road tour.
AmeriCorps is a lot like hoops.
It takes dedication, drive, and teamwork.
Are you up to the challenge?
Give a year of your life to AmeriCorps.
Everybody wins.
Welcome back to Champlain Park High School. We're at halftime in the Section 7 4A Boys Basketball Championship. The number 2 seeded Cardinals with a 3-point lead over the top seeded Elks of Elk River. And it has really been a battle of the big guys. Jake Vargas leading the way for his Elks with 10 points, getting 2 of them here off a nearly unstoppable spinning fadeaway jumper. That's really what he did all through the second half of the semifinal game to help him pull away from Champlain Park. And on the other end, the Cardinals led by their leader in Paul Cito, who's hit 2 for 3 from behind the arc and leads the team with 8 points at the half. He's also been big on the assists, has a couple of very important passes that finished plays. This one comes off a near steal by the Elks. Bronson almost had it, and Cito went all the way up to grab it and then quickly passed to Dan Anderson. A great job by Danny to find a little bit of open floor, and not really any open floor. He went up and shot it over the taller Jay Carlson, and the Cardinals with that 21-18 lead. There you see both teams shooting almost identical, 40%, 2 for 6 from behind the arc. Rebounds very close. Free throws, the Elks have scored one more from the charity stripe, but the Cardinals just with that slight edge. And now we will go down to the court side. Larry Cassidy is standing by with the Elk River head coach. Larry.
That's right. Coach Clausen, probably not where you wanted to be at half, but your thoughts on the first half?
Well, we just didn't play very well. Give Coon Rapids credit. They did a nice job. They're patient in their zone. They made us take some shots from the outside. We really didn't get in a good flow offensively. We need to attack a little bit better here in the second half. We definitely got to get on the boards better. We're a much better rebounding team than we showed tonight, but we just got to overall pick up our level of play.
You seem to have a lot of success when you were pressuring them in their own end. Are we going to see a little bit more of that in the second half?
Well, you see whatever it takes for us to win this game.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Larry. And Coach Clausen, a student of the game, and very, very analytical about the way he talks about that first half.
Well, certainly, an astute comment that he made is the fact that the Cardinals pressured them into taking shots that they did not want to take. And certainly, as he said, they have the height advantage underneath them. They're not coming with the rebounds. And I think those are the two things that Coach Randy Clausen works on at the halftime. As far as Coon Rapids continue to play their game, continue to be consistent.
Well, the Elk River Elks were actually, they were...
There, is that you, Joe?
I'm not sure.
Looks like he's got a little microphone going.
I like the pants, though.
Yeah, the pants
and
are
the
good.
hat. The hat's good, too. Well, we are underway in the second half. As I was saying, the Cardinals actually out-rebounded the Elks in the first quarter, but the Elks had the advantage in the second and had a one-board advantage through the first half. Fortin into the corner, Schutte working against Dannon, kicks it out to Telke. Up top, Ricky Taylor to Fortin on the baseline. He's fouled, he'll go to the line and shoot two. Mike Jorgensen will be called for his first.
Now Sam obviously getting a good opportunity with a good look at the basket where he's going to pick up the foul, but they're going to continue to try, move the ball around the perimeter and then get it in underneath.
Well, and this is another interesting point is Fortin misses hard off the back iron on the first attempt. The Cardinals 3 for 3 from the free throw line, all in the first quarter. The Elks 4 for 7, and that was all in the second quarter as Fortin misses both and Vargas comes down with the rebound. Carlson on the right wing, looking for penetration, almost lost the ball, recovers, back to Chase Bowdry up top. Bowdry on the left wing for Jorgensen. He's covered tightly by Ricky Taylor, kicks it back out to Bowdry, a pass inside, stolen away by Sam Fortin.
And a good job by Sam to hold the ball up and look for an outlet. Elks had him pinned a little bit by the baseline.
Fortin looking for room, finds it, shoots, won't go. Carlson down with the rebound.
Well, you can see the edge that Elk River has underneath the board, certainly at boxing out.
Carlson fouled as he tries to turn the corner, and picking up his first is Grant Schutte, or Paul Cito, rather.
Well, Joe, the Cardinals have had a couple good opportunities to score early on in this second half, haven't been able to get their shots to fall. They're going to have to make sure that they don't miss those kind of opportunities from here on in.
Inbound goes all the way up top. They work it back to Bowdry in the corner. His three-pointer won't go. Rebound controlled by Josh Vargas. He turns and shoots, and he'll go to the line as he draws a foul, and that could be number 3 on Grant Schutte. Nope, it's going to go against Pat Telke, his second.
Well, certainly they cannot afford to get Grant Schutte in foul trouble. He is really the player underneath who makes them go defensively and certainly on the rebounding side of the ball.
Vargas now 2 for 3 from the line, and the Cardinals will take a timeout, and that is what they did last time Vargas was on the line. And look at the way Vargas just battles for that ball. And remember, just a junior.
And it's just great positioning underneath, and you can see his strength. And we talked about that nice turnaround fade shot, and certainly couldn't get that one to fall, but got the opportunity to go to the line. And hopefully Coach Rover will ice him a little bit here, get him to think about this shot, possibly missing the second opportunity. So look at the Coon Rapids contingent, strong here this evening.
Well, the way this one's going, it could be a lot like that Blaine game where we have every fan in the stands on their feet at the end of the night.
Including us.
Vargas looking to make it a one-point game. And he does. Telke inbounds to Schutte. Again, full court pressure from the Elks. Taylor will break it as he gets across midcourt. And the Elks call... The Elk fans want an over and back, but won't get it. Fortin's shot on the baseline won't go. The rebound out of bounds to the Elks.
Good positioning underneath by Grant Schutte. The unfortunate part of that is he just couldn't bring the ball down and grab the handle on it. He was there for the rebound.
Chase Beaudry gets it to Jake Carlson on the left wing. Cross court to Annan. He can't get to it. Telke comes away with it. And right side, three-pointer for Cito won't go. Schutte down with the rebound. He's fouled.
Now the Elk River fans at the other end wanted a call on Ricky Taylor pushing out, but the referees did not see that come down the other end. Grant Schutte gets the opportunity for some free throws here.
Josh Vargas picks up his third foul, and that could be big.
That is very huge for Elk River. There's a look at the foul on Schutte.
Brett Amundsen and Danny Anderson return to the game for the Cardinals. Jesse Hetrick onto the floor for the Elks, and with 3 fouls, Josh Vargas will return to the bench.
Well, this is an opportunity with Vargas, one of the superstars from this team, out of the lineup, take advantage of that absence.
Schutte misses the second. Annan down with the rebound. And the Elks look to push. Carlson pulls it up on the baseline. He's fouled from behind. He'll shoot 2.
I think they're going to call that on Amundsen. Nope.
They're going to call it on Schutte, and that's the third on him.
Well, there again, that hurts, and I think we're seeing Matt Paulson come off the bench for the Cardinals, and Schutte will have to take a breather here.
Carlson hits the first, and he can tie the game.
We'll see this where they called the foul. As he got him with the body there.
And the hand. That's a good call. Carlson hits them both, and we're tied at 22. Just under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Beaudry getting a hand in on the inbound and knocking it away from Sam Fortin.
Well, the Elks obviously saw that by pressuring the Cardinals on the inbound pass that they've been successful, and they're continuing to try and do so.
Sam Fortin trying to work out of the corner, draws the full court trap, gets it across midcourt. Cito to Paulson, to Amundsen on the wing. Cito will fire up a 3. That one won't go. Rebound out of bounds to the Elks.
Paul had a nice look from just about the top of the key, but couldn't get it to drop. And he's been hot from outside the line.
Chase Beaudry across midcourt for the Elks. Watched by Fortin, left side for Carlson. Up top, Hetrick. Tried to go down low, AC Matthews anticipates and comes away with the steal.
And just a great athletic move by AC.
Up top, Fortin kicks it out. Cito, another 3-pointer. That one won't go either. Carlson down with the rebound. He's on the run, and he will score at the other end, plus the foul.
I don't see where there was even a foul there. Paulson tried to block the shot, but he got no contact.
Now they're going to say that there wasn't a foul.
Okay.
Okay, I was a little questionable on that.
That was more than a little questionable.
Well.
And then a great steal.
Beaudry comes up with the steal. Hetrick can't control the pass, and the Cardinals get the ball back.
And a good job by AC Matthews getting back there pretty quickly. I think Hetrick kind of hurt him coming behind. Lost the handle.
Cardinals trailing by 2 with 4:53 to go in the third. Ricky Taylor, watched by Carlson deep in the backcourt. He gets into the front court and slows it up. Sam Fortin up top. It's only his second time tonight that the Elks have had the lead. Taylor to AC Matthews. Thought about this shot, now penetrates. Nice pass to Paulson. And got the ball back and scored.
A great move by AC Matthews to stay with it underneath to pick up that missed shot.
Well, I'm not sure how there wasn't a foul, but apparently they figured it was a clean block by Jesse Hetrick. Nice job by Ricky Taylor getting in and knock the pass away. The Elks will keep it.
Elks are trying to move it inside and take advantage of their size. Look at the pass here by AC Matthews.
AC Matthews draws the double team and dishes. And I guess they say that's a clean block by Matt Annan, and then a good job by, and a block by Grant Schutte on Josh Vargas, stolen right back, and Chase Beaudry will score.
And that's what happens when you pressure defense. They have the numbers, get the steal, get the easy bucket.
Again, a lot of pressure in the backcourt. Sam Fortin breaks it. Finds some room, pulls up and scores.
And just a nice play by Sam Fortin just to take it from one end to the other.
Tied at 26. Bronson on the left side. Back up top for Jorgensen. Hetrick can't score. Fortin down with the rebound.
Nice job by Sam Fortin going high for that rebound. Fans thought
Fortin
he carried.
On the run, draws the foul on Hetrick.
Just a nice move by Sam Fortin.
He's just so quick.
He's very quick, and that's the thing that concerned them all along, is the penetration by Sam Fortin. You can see it there. He turns on the jets, and he picks up the foul. I think the fans maybe thought he was either a travel or a carry, but was not called by the officials here.
Paul Cito up top, left side for Ricky Taylor. Taylor moving baseline, draws a double team. Ryder open for three, he hits it.
Ryder squares up and hits the big three.
And that will break the tie. The Cardinals back in front by 3. Beaudry up top, left side for Jorgensen. Vargas in the corner. Back up top, Beaudry. Cross court, Bronson. Steps around the defense, but misses. Down with the rebound is Paul Cito. Hands off to Ricky Taylor.
We've seen Ricky Taylor hand off before, but never Paul Cito.
Nice pass inside. Ryder can't score. Vargas down with the rebound, and he's called for the foul.
They're going to call it on AC, or they're going to call it on Grant? They're going to call that on Grant Schutte. That's his
huge.
fourth. That's very big. He's going to have to take a seat, man. Paulson's going to have to check in.
And he's probably done until the fourth quarter.
I would assume so.
Until late in the fourth quarter.
Let's move underneath.
Drew Ryder with the miss.
Yeah.
And
we're going to see Schutte over the top.
Vargas in the corner, looking baseline, draws the foul on AC Matthews. Be his second.
That'll be the 5th team foul on the Cardinals. And now we're going to see if it's on the shoulders of Matt Paulson to step up a little bit and provide some big D underneath there.
Well, he does have a little more size than Grant Schutte, and I'd say he's maybe even a little bit better as a blocker. But when it comes to rebounds, there's nobody better on this Cardinal team than Grant Schutte. In the corner, Matt Annan gets it back to Beaudry. Beaudry for three, hits it.
And a nice job by the Elks freeing Beaudry.
That will tie the game back up at 29. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Ricky Taylor into the front court, watched by Jason Bronson, finds room. Nice dish to Paulson, he scores.
And just nice move, Ricky Taylor going into the middle, bringing the defense over, allowing Paulson to be free.
And Paulson, a good young player for this Cardinal team. He will be a big part of this team next year, for sure. Go baseline! Cross-court pass, too high for Beaudry, out of bounds to the Cardinals.
look on Randy Clausen's face. A little bit of disappointment there as that pass went a little bit too high and out of bounds. Cardinals getting an opportunity now with a 2-point lead and a minute and a half left in this third quarter.
And although they were handled pretty easily by this Elks team in the two previous meetings this year, losing 62-33 and 62-42, the Cardinals have been in control through most of this game so far.
Now, Joe, we've talked about it. It's a totally different season when playoffs start.
Taylor into the corner. Paulson back up top. Taylor working against Jorgensen to the baseline. Kicks it out. Cito from the top of the key hits it.
Nothing but net on that one.
Cito having a little trouble. He's 0 for 3 to start this quarter, but then he hits it, and now Jorgensen takes an extra step and turns it back over to the Cardinals with a 5-point lead. Coach Clausen doesn't like it.
He does not like that whatsoever. He was going over to referee Ralford Dixon and letting him know.
And usually that's not a good idea.
I agree. Especially in a game like this. Last thing you want is a technical.
Or you just don't want the refs to be on the other side. AC Matthews up top. Matt Paulson hands off to Sam Fortin, and he is fouled. It will go against Jason Bronson, his first.
Number 31, Jason Bronson, his first.
Sam took a little bit of a shot to the nose there, but he's okay.
Joel Cordy in for Elk River.
Here's a look at Sam tries to penetrate with the pass and gets hit right in the face right there.
The Trooper. Pass taken away by Mike Jorgensen, but he steps out of bounds, so the Cardinals will keep it. But it'll go in the books as a steal.
And great hustle by Jorgensen.
And certainly the Cardinals cannot take their time getting the ball in. This one goes into AC Matthews, and he'll slow it down.
The smart play by AC to bring it back out.
Got Vargas out, guarding him way up top. Hands off for Ricky Taylor, then sets a pick. Taylor gets it back to AC Matthews. Cito on the wing, back up top, Matthews. And Matthews, another young player for this Cardinal team who will be very important next quarter. Fortin fouled as he goes to the line, or as he goes to the hole. Jorgensen picking up his second.
Well, I think that even if that had fallen, they would have waved that off because the whistle blew before he got the shot off. But that almost went in for Sam Fortin.
Cardinals still will hold for the last shot. Just 5.4 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You think they will?
Inbound pass goes to Cito. His shot won't go. And a foul on Paulson as Jorgensen came down with the rebound. Paulson just sort of ran him over. But
I don't think Matt really could get out of the way at that particular point.
It was a matter of Jorgensen being under him when he was coming down, and Paulson, of course, much larger. 0.7 seconds remaining in the quarter. I don't think the Elks will be able to get anything off. And no, that will not count even if it goes. So the Cardinals with a 5-point lead going to the final quarter.
Well, right now the Cardinals coming out and they're playing their game. They're playing tough defense. They're picking their opportunities for their shots. Getting Cito open at the top of the key for that three was big. And they look at going into this final quarter up by 5. Speaking of that three, Cito spots up and hits nothing but net. And he's the leading scorer for these Cardinals. And certainly, Joe, a great situation for Coon Rapids to be in. And you know, we looked at the beginning of the season, and certainly they had some great expectations. But if you would maybe say to Coach Rover, you'd be 8 minutes away, 5 points ahead from going to the state tournament, he may not have said that he would have agreed.
Well, I think at the beginning of the season, if you had said that, he would have asked you to have a CAT scan. But he would have thought maybe it was possible, but not very likely.
And certainly, you know, the Elks.
But nonetheless, this team has come together very well at the end of the season and is playing their best basketball here in the playoffs.
Oh, we talked about they had to play as well as they did against Osseo. Even though they lost that game by 2, they played a great game. There's a pass by Ricky Taylor underneath to Matt Paulson, and he puts it in. The Elks will start this quarter with the ball in the hands of Chase Bouldry.
In the corner, Vargas looking for some room, pulls up, shoots, that won't go. Down with the rebound is Paulson.
I think the Cardinals, what they have to do here this last period is just play their game. Don't do anything foolish. Just move the ball around, continuing to do that, and look for the good shot.
Nice pass by Taylor, and Paulson takes a step. He doesn't agree, but I'll agree with the official on that one.
He took the step, and certainly not a good turnover for the Cardinals, up by 5. The one thing obviously you don't want to let Elk River back into this game, even though they lead's only 5.
And up top, Jorgensen steps inside, takes the shot, and scores.
Mike Jorgensen with a nice look at the basket, cutting the lead to 3. And we'll see it with 7:14 in this quarter. We'll see
almost a steal in the backcourt, but recovered by Paul Cito, and the Cardinals get it into the front court.
I was going to say, when they bring Schutte back off the bench with 4 personals.
In the lane, Cito can't score. Paulson's follow won't go. Rebound out of bounds to the Cardinals.
That ball went off the hands of Matt Annan.
Boy, Paulson just elevated over everyone.
Well, we talked about this is a place where he needs to step up with Schutte on the bench. That's going to be a foul on Bouldry.
That will be his second.
Number 34, Chase Bouldry, that's his second. 16 foul on the Elks.
6 fouls apiece on both teams here.
So every foul from now on will be a bonus situation. Right wing is Sam Fortin. Taylor penetrating, kicks it out, knocked away by Vargas out of bounds.
Now Cardinals just doing a really good job on both ends of the courts at this point in the game, and they're looking for their set shot.
Taylor inbounds, knocked away by Bouldry, but recovered by Cito in the backcourt. All kinds of pressure, and he is fouled by Jorgensen. That's his third.
That'll give Cito an opportunity to go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. All important free throws here, Joe.
Cito's first trip to the free throw line, and we've talked about it time and time again. Free throws are incredibly important, especially in the playoffs. Pardon me. It's the first and earns a second.
We saw Paul miss a couple of free throws against Blaine.
He hits them both.
He hits them both, and those are huge.
Lead back to 5. Jorgensen. In the corner is Carlson up top for Bouldry. Jorgensen kicks it out to Annan in the corner. He'll bring it up top. Back to Jorgensen. He steps inside, tried to pass and threw it away. The Cardinals will get it back again.
Another turnover by the Elks, and certainly this has to be concerning to Coach Clausen, is the fact they're turning the ball over a lot more than they're used to.
Again, full court pressure from the Elks, broken by Fortin. Passes to Paulson at the end, and Paulson couldn't control the rebound as he missed in close.
And a nice and a great opportunity to get Paulson alone underneath there. Just couldn't get it to fall. Sometimes you get a little bit too tentative there. Remember, the glass is your friend.
And I think by next year, you're going to see Paulson dunking that ball every time. Vargas scores from the baseline.
He's pretty much automatic from that point in the court.
Cito to Taylor, and the Cardinals better hurry across midcourt. AC Matthews. And called for the offensive as Matt Annan steps in to draw the charge.
And Gary Rover does not like that call. Let's take another look at it as AC makes a move to the basket. We'll see if he has position. That's tough to tell. It's tough to tell. I think that's an okay call by the staff here.
3-point game with 5:40 to play. The Elks trying to come away with it. Vargas's 3 won't go. Taylor with a rebound for the Cardinals. other end. Matthews scores, and he's fouled.
And that is huge. The athletic move of A.C. Matthews getting the basket, and now the opportunity for the three-point play.
You know, it's interesting, but before the game started, and we weren't on camera at the time, you said the person who's going to be a big spark for this team tonight is A.C. Matthews, and well, that's a spark.
So far, so good.
Free throw won't go. Paulson down with a big rebound. Cito for three, won't go. Matthews can't get the rebound. Carlson
and
down.
Just a great play by Matt Paulson to get that board down. Unfortunately, Cito couldn't get the long shot to drop. We're approaching 5 minutes left here in this game. I think A.C. Matthews is going to pick up a foul right here.
And he is. That's going to be his fourth.
Now from here on in, we're going to
put Jake Carlson at the line.
A lot of opportunities for both teams from the line. Look at the pass underneath. There's the break and the body contact by A.C. Matthews.
Carlson hits the first, earns the second.
You can bet we'll see pressure if he makes this one.
He can cut the lead back to three. Pat Telke checks back into the game as Matthews returns to the bench with 4 fouls.
There's Jake Carlson's numbers. 3 of 3 from the line, 7 points this evening. Make that 4 of 4 from the line.
And 8 points.
And 8 points. There
and a 3-point lead for the Cardinals. Ricky Taylor breaks the pressure into the front court. Kicks it out. Cito all alone for 3. He drains it.
And a nice fake by Ricky Taylor to draw the defense off of Cito and left all alone.
You know, I understand the idea of putting a lot of pressure on in the backcourt. Beaudry for 3. He hits it.
We're going to see a shootout here the rest of the way.
I understand the idea of a lot of pressure in the backcourt for the Elks, but you cannot leave Paul Cito, a pure shooter, wide open from 3-point range.
No,
Fortin penetrates, fouled, scores, and the foul.
And that is huge. And again, penetration by Sam Fortin, the key to this Cardinal team. Draws the defense over, gets the shot to drop, picks up the foul, gets the opportunity to extend this lead for Coon Rapids.
Sam Fortin just 1 of 3 from the line tonight. And he misses again. And Matt Paulson going to be called for going up and over Matt Annan. And so Matt Annan will go to the free throw at the other end.
Look at the drive by Sam Fortin, the penetration, perfection. Gets the ball to go up and in.
No question, Chase Beaudry committed a foul on that one.
There you go, fellas, 1-1.
Annan looking to cut into the Cardinal lead. He's 3 for 4 from the line tonight, and he hits the first.
Oh, he's a good free throw shooter. As I said, 9 of 10 the other night.
But Annan, who had 21 points and 22 rebounds in the Blaine game, just 4 points tonight, all from the line, and only 2 rebounds. Hits them both.
Coach Clausen's going to call a timeout, and we talked about the thing that he talked about is keeping Matt Annan in this ball game and having him score. And right now that he's not getting that from Annan, and certainly. Lead here for 3 for Coon Rapids with a little less than 4.5 minutes left. He needs to figure out how he can continue to get his players involved. We've seen Josh Fargus been a little bit quiet too here in the last number of minutes.
Well, the Cardinals with a 3-point lead. We've got everything a fan could hope for in a championship game. The winner going on to the state tournament, the loser finishing off their season. And we want to know what you think of our broadcast here on CTN. Questions, concerns, comments, please give us a call on the feedback line, 763-767-6526, or email us at ctnsports@ci.coon-rapids.mn.us. And the Elks, putting so much emphasis on the backcourt pressure, have forgotten a little bit about pressuring on the front court, and look at how much room Paul Cito has.
There's nobody there.
You cannot allow a pure shooter that much time and that good a look, or he's going to bury the 3. He's got 4 from behind the arc tonight, and he's got 18 points for the Cardinals.
Now we see Grant Schutte back in the lineup for the Cardinals. with 4.5 minutes left. He's got 4
16
personals.
points. I'm not quite sure. My addition isn't great.
I'll bring you a calculator.
Thank you. Sam Fortin into the front court, watched by Beaudry. Spins, A.C. Matthews on the right wing, working against Vargas. Vargas playing with 3 fouls.
And we have 2 players on the floor for the Cardinals who have 4 in Grant Schutte and in A.C. Matthews.
And they're both right there. Cross-court pass stolen away by Jason Bronson.
Not a good pass by A.C. Tough to throw that pass into traffic like that.
Bronson into the corner for Jorgensen, back up top. Beaudry to Vargas, back out to Beaudry. Right side Jorgensen, they want to get it inside to Annan, but he's well covered. Jorgensen steps inside, takes the shot, a double pumper, and scores.
He's going to cut the lead to 1 now. Plenty of time left in this ball game.
Ricky Taylor pressured in the backcourt. Jorgensen steals, scores, and the Elks have taken the lead. Sam Fortin into the front court. And a timeout for the Cardinals.
Well, that's a good timeout for Coon Rapids because now we're seeing a lot of pressure here defensively by the Elks, and they really have to just kind of take a step back and compose himself, now trailing by 1.
Well, that strong backcourt pressure paying off for the Elks. And talk about a spark for the Elks. Mike Jorgensen, who has been very quiet tonight, has 6 points in the game, all of them here in the 4th quarter, and none can be more important than just straight up taking the ball right out of the hands of Ricky Taylor. And good job coming up, and I have a tough time thinking Ricky wasn't fouled there, but no foul called, and that's what's important. And Jorgensen coming up as the 3rd man pressuring, takes the ball away, scores to give the Elks the lead. And there's 3:05 remaining in the game. A 1-point lead for Coach Randy Clausen in the Elk River Elks.
You know, certainly composure is important on both ends of the bench here, but certainly do not want to lose composure here. The Cardinals. We're going to take another look. Look at the slap on the hand.
Oh yeah, all
if
kinds
that's
of
not a
fouls
foul,
there.
I don't know what it is. But
as I mentioned, no foul called, and that's what's important. Fortin to Taylor, back to Fortin, open for 3, he hits it.
And that's a big 3-point play by Sam Fortin.
Gives the 2-point lead back to Coon Rapids. And again, the Cardinal fans on their feet. Right side, Jorgensen. Inside to Annan, back up top to Jorgensen, back to Annan in the corner. Pressured well by Anderson, and Anderson's called for a foul. That will send Annan to the free throw line.
And Dan not happy about that play. It's a good pressure defense.
That's Anderson's first.
I'm not going to say anything.
What, like, how can you call that one and not the one on Beaudry?
Well, no, how could they even call that one? It looked like he was falling back out of bounds. We'll take another look at it, but it looked like he had pretty good coverage here. It looked like he awful close to stepping on the line. I think movement backwards by Annan caused that foul.
That's it's tough. Annan hits the first, and he can tie the game back up.
This is all you can ask for, Joe.
And he does. 2:38 to go, a tie game between the Cardinals and the Elks. Sam Fortin working against Chase Beaudry, and now we see the Elks backing off the pressure in the backcourt. And Fortin is fouled by Mike Jorgensen, his 4th.
Well, they're certainly calling fouls very close here this evening.
Fortin goes to the line.
I think that's Jorgensen's 4th, isn't that correct?
Yes, it is. All here in the second half. Fortin hits the first. He's 2 for 5 from the line tonight. He hits them both. Cardinals back up by 2. 2.5 to play. Jorgensen. Left side, Bronson into the corner. Beaudry for 3. He hits it.
Chase Beaudry's got a nice range from outside. You have to make sure you cover him. Can't let him get that shot from the outside.
The Elks back into the 1-point lead. Fortin into the front court. Penetrates, pulls up, shoots. It won't go. Annan down with the rebound.
Man, Annan with just a nice rebound as he steps in front of Grant Schutte to pull that board down. Grant maybe a little bit hesitant playing with 4 fouls.
Under 2 minutes, and the Elk River Elks will take a timeout. 22nd. They've got the 1-point lead and the ball. 1:57 to play.
Certainly one thing we talked about the last time there was a break is, you know, certainly the Cardinals are there and cannot lose their composure. Now trailing by 1 point, certainly have played a phenomenal game up to this point. Elk River maybe not playing their game, but obviously in the lead by 1 point. They're where they want to be.
And I think I see a couple of people biting their nails in the stands because this game has gone back and forth and back again. And Chase Beaudry, we talked about you can't leave Cito open from 3-point range. And you can't leave Chase Beaudry open from 3-point range either. He's got 4. He's 4 for 6 from behind the line. So he's shooting at a better percentage from behind the arc than Cito is. Elks with a 1-point lead. Bronson in the corner. Back up top. Jorgensen to Beaudry near midcourt. And we're back to a 2-3 zone for the Cardinals. Vargas on the right side. Up top. Left side. Matt Annan up top. Bronson draws the double team. Gets it across. Beaudry almost had it picked off. Got it to Annan. Annan underneath is fouled. And it's going to go against Grant Schutte. That'll be his 5th.
And not certainly, again, not the guy you want to put on the line. He's pretty automatic from there. And Grant Schutte now with 5 fouls going to have to take a seat on the bench.
Matt Annan 7 of 8 from the line tonight.
It's a nice pass underneath. Nice move to the basket by Matt Annan. Tries to get the reverse lay-in. And he was fouled by Grant Schutte. Grant will foul out.
So Schutte will foul out. Matt Paulson replaces him on the floor, and Paulson playing with 2 fouls. Annan hits the first.
There's a look at Grant Schutte. He had a good game, only 3 points, but always a force underneath the basket.
Annan hits them both, and the lead is 3.
Now, certainly plenty of time here, the Cardinals, to execute their game plan.
Now, I don't know if you go to the 3-pointer right away, though.
Well, the only way I think you do it is if you spring Cito with a nice shot from the outside.
Well, the trouble here is without a shot clock in high school basketball, the Elks can hold for that last shot if they have to. Sam Fortin went up with no place to go, and he's called for the illegal dribble and a turnover to the Elks. And Cardinals will have to put on a little more pressure. Bronson travels and turns it over.
Wow. Now that is a huge turnover.
And he's looking, or Mike Jorgensen rather, he looks over to Coach Klaus and said, what'd I do?
Maybe you should look over to the ref and say, what did I do?
Sam Fortin gets it to Paul Cito, out to Ricky Taylor. Cito took a bump there and maybe felt Fortin for 3. He hits it. We've got a tie game again.
Pressure situation. Sam Fortin comes down. 30 seconds left.
Down to 30 seconds. The Elks call a timeout. You know they're gonna hold for the last shot.
Joe, you couldn't ask for a better situation than
now. You know, against Blaine, it was about 30 seconds left in a 1-point game, and you said you can't get any closer than this. I said, actually, you can.
It could be tied.
It could be tied.
I like it.
Howie, it couldn't get any closer than that.
Nice kick out by Cito, and Sam just squares up and shoots to the basket. Nothing but net for Sam Fortin, tying this game with 31 points.
He's got 2
ticks on the clock.
15 points.
Big game.
The Cardinal fans on their feet. The Elks fans seem extremely relaxed for a tie game with 30 seconds left.
Well, you know, I think that the situation, maybe they're a little bit stunned because they probably didn't feel they'd be in this situation down at this point of the game.
This is the 7th tie in the ball game most of the leads have been for the Cardinals. The Elks have led in some crucial moments here at the end, but 31.2 seconds remaining for a trip to the state tournament out.
I can't get any closer than that, Joe. You're right. It's tied here, and certainly the situation, the Elks are going to play for the last shot. You do not want to foul in this situation.
And you have to imagine that they're going to try and get the ball in the hands of Josh Vargas or Chase Beaudry, or maybe Matt Annan. They've got so many good players.
I think you move it underneath to Matt Annan. You try. Right now he's the hot player for him. Beaudry hot from the outside, but I think that's what you do. You get the ball in close, your best percentage shot.
Cardinals do not want to foul above all else. 13 seconds. Down to 10. Carlson in the corner. Back out. Beaudry inside. Annan turns. And he traveled. Or double dribble. Turned the ball over. The Cardinals will have the ball. They'll call a timeout with 5.6 seconds. And the Cardinals have the opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you, that's exactly what...
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. That's exactly what the Elks wanted to do. They wanted to move it in underneath to Annan. They didn't want him to travel, though. Now with 5.6 ticks left.
Unbelievable.
Cardinals have an opportunity to go to the state tournament.
And Coach Clausen just maybe a little stunned himself.
Well, yeah, I think he would be.
That his team has turned the ball over twice, just crucially, when here with the double dribble underneath, and by one of his best players, and no doubt about it, he double dribbled, and but earlier, as they were up by 3, had a chance to make it a 2-possession game, and Mike Jorgensen traveled as he came across midcourt.
Well, Joe,
those are some crucial mistakes that Coach Clausen cannot have expected from his club.
No, when you look at the look on his face, and it's really right now of total surprise, and you know that his team is at this situation tied with this little bit of time left on the clock.
And you know, even if the Cardinals win this game, the Elks can look back at this season, say they had a very strong season. They lost in a barn burner in the championship to go to the state tournament, and they can look forward to a very strong team next year. Cardinals forced to call timeout as the Elks have that very strong backcourt pressure, and this happened in the Blaine game where Blaine caused the forced a 5-second violation against the Cardinals and had a chance to win at the end. And the Cardinals, above all else, cannot let that happen.
Well, they certainly can. And a good move by Paulsito, recognizing the fact he was not going to get the pass out and allowed it 5 seconds, calling the timeout, giving him another opportunity. But the Cardinals certainly here, it's going to be a tough situation to get down the court in 5.6 seconds to put something up. But they'd be happy to go to overtime. Like to win the game, like to go to state, but they'd be happy to be going to overtime.
This is the Cardinals' last timeout. The Elks still with a full timeout and a 20-second. So if they can pressure them again, the Cardinals cannot call timeout.
Well, certainly we'll see here. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of pressure again on the behalf of the Elks defensively on this inbound pass. Cardinals are going to try and figure something out, try and figure a way to free a player, get something done quick on the court, and get a shot off it.
Well, the Cardinals' #1 fan is here.
It's red.
And you know that all the Cardinal fans are on their feet. The Elks student fans on their feet as well. And it all comes down to this, Howie. 5.6 seconds in a season, a career even. The Cardinals get it into Sam Fortin. Cross midcourt, driving to the corner. He bounced it off his foot and turned it over. 0.8 seconds remaining on the clock. The Elks will have one last chance. And you got to imagine they're just going to inbound it, and we're going to overtime.
Oh, my God. Who would have thought it at the beginning of this game is headed to overtime, but, you know, certainly got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. They're playing a great game. Unfortunately for them, Sam bounced that ball off his foot, not giving him an opportunity to try and win this and sending him to state.
One word, Howie. Unbelievable.
It really is, and you know we're set for a great period of overtime here. You know, the one disadvantage the Cardinals have, Grant Schutte out of the game, doesn't have the opportunity for his presence underneath the board. Matt Paulson's going to have to again step it up here in this overtime period.
And yeah, you mentioned the big key is the best rebounder for this Cardinal team, and one of the strongest inside players in Grant Schutte has fouled out.
Well, really the only one in foul trouble right now for the Elks is Jorgensen with 4. Looks like Baudry and also
Baudry and
Vargas
each
with
have 3. AC Matthews for the Cardinals, the only one in foul trouble. He's got 4.
Well, here we go, Joe.
Unbelievable. We will tip off again a 4-minute overtime. Matt Paulson will line up against Matt Annan, and this should be a good jump ball because Paulson actually a little bit taller than Schutte, may be able to outstretch. And the tip is controlled by Jorgensen and the Elks. We are into overtime, tied at 51.
This is an opportunity for both teams to continue to pick up their game.
Vargas in the corner, guarded by AC Matthews. Chase Baudry and the Elks showing a lot of patience on their first possession. Vargas in the right corner. Cardinals in the 1-3-1. Baudry for 3. In and out. Down with the rebound is Paulson.
And Paulson was skied to get that rebound. Cardinals doing a great job defensively. Not really allowing Elk River to get that good look shot. Baudry with a long 3 on that one.
Up top, Sam Fortin. Hands off. Penetration by Cito. He doesn't get it to go. Matthews is fouled, and he will go to the line. Vargas picks up his 4th.
That is number 4 on Vargas, and really good positioning by AC Matthews to come down with the board. Here's a look at the Cardinals trying to move the ball around. Paul Cito with the shot, bounces off back rim. AC Matthews with the board and picking up the foul right here. Big free throws for Coon Rapids.
He's 0 for 1 from the line tonight, as you see there. He's got 4 points. First one off the front iron.
Drew Ryder coming into the game for the Cardinals. Ricky Taylor, seat on the bench.
Second one off the back iron. Vargas controls the rebound. Still tied. 2:50 to play in the overtime. Jake Carlson watched by Drew Ryder on the left wing. Back up top for Mike Jorgensen. Right side, Chase Baudry. Back to Jorgensen. Thought about the shot, penetrates, kicks it back out to Baudry. Inside pass knocked away by Ryder, and Carlson stepped out of bounds. Credit Drew Ryder with that turnover for getting a hand in on the pass.
Oh, absolutely. Disrupted what Elk River was going to do, and they're certainly disappointed they didn't come down and score in this opportunity. Cardinals now will work against this pressure.
Fortin across midcourt, watched by Chase Baudry. He'll slow things down for the Cardinals. They want to make sure they get a good shot. Paulson gets it back to Fortin. Penetrates, kicks it back out, and right back to Fortin. Penetrates, kicks it out to Ryder. Ryder is fouled, and Vargas is gone.
And that's huge. That is so big. This game tied, 2 minutes left. Josh Vargas out of the game with 5 fouls.
And Drew Ryder going to the line to shoot 2.
Well, I guess that's only his 4th, Joe.
Drew Ryder.
Oh.
There's a look at the drive.
He wasn't called for that last one that I thought was his.
Well, he surely called for that one.
And, I don't think anybody's going to question it either.
I would think not.
Ryder hits the first, so the Cardinals with the first lead here in the overtime.
Talk about pressure free throws.
Yeah, you don't get much more pressure than this. Second one is off. Vargas down with the rebound.
Really, Matt Paulson got up there, and he almost came away with that rebound. Just couldn't get control of it.
But he's tall. He's got good height on his jump, and his arms are so long that he is a very dangerous rebounder. Hannon hands to Baudry. Back to Annan. Annan turns. He's fouled. Count the no. They will not count the basket. They'll say it was on the floor.
And the fans do not like that.
Neither does Coach Clausen.
Clausen does not like that call. And he just scratches his head wondering.
And that foul will go against Paulson, number 3. Annan will go to the line to shoot 2, where he has been nearly flawless.
Looks like maybe they just did not get the shot off in time before they blew the whistle on that foul. But again, as you mentioned, pretty automatic from the line.
9 of 10 tonight. That's where all of his points have come from. And he missed the first.
Wow.
He can tie it with the second.
Wow.
Can you feel the pressure, the intensity, the stress level in this building out?
I'm starting to sweat. I'm so
Starting?
stressed up here. Just starting, and that's unusual for me.
I've been sweating for the last 10 minutes at least. Annan to tie. Can't do it. Yeah, he did. I thought for sure. I thought for sure that one was short.
Well, Joe, did they work it around for the last shot here? Minute 36 left.
A minute and a half. It's not a bad idea, but it's a long time to pass around, and we saw that idea fail for the Bengals in the last game. Ryder for 3. That won't go. Vargas down with the rebound.
He had a good look at the basket, just couldn't get it to drop, and that was smart thinking. Had the open look. That would have been huge if he would have hit that.
And now a 20-second timeout called by the Elks, and I'm guessing they will probably hold for the last shot with 1:13.
I would think so, and certainly, again, situation you don't want to foul in this point of the game.
But at the same time, we saw that philosophy backfire against the Bengals in the semifinals. They did a lot of that, trying to take time off the clock in the fourth quarter, passing around a lot. The Cardinals worked it well with the 2-3 zone. And in a tie game, the Bengals passed it around looking for that last shot. Sam Fortin
with the steal
came up with a big steal.
It was huge.
And scored at the other end. So not always the best idea, but at the same time, not a bad idea either. We'll have to see what the Elks decide to do. 1:13 remaining in the first overtime. You know, how about a 7 overtime basketball game?
Bite your tongue.
Chase Bodrick, right side for Jorgensen. And they're in no hurry.
Well,
Bodrick.
You wouldn't expect him to be.
Jorgensen. And you especially don't want to pass it around a lot out there where Sam Fortin is with those very quick hands. Bronson steps inside, kicks it out. Bodrick. Bronson. Jorgensen in the corner. Vargas back to Bronson.
I think
Bodrick
they're going to try
down to 40 seconds.
Free Annan up underneath.
Jorgensen avoids the steal attempt by Fortin. Here's Vargas on the wing. 25 seconds. And a timeout for the Elks.
Now, Coach Clausen wants to rework something here, maybe call a play. Again, I think that their
anything
play,
but a double dribble.
Well, their money play right now is to try and get it underneath to Annan, because he certainly, even if you foul, you put him at the line, he's got a great opportunity. You don't want to foul him, obviously, but he's got a great presence underneath.
He's 10 of 12 from the free throw line tonight, and I think they feel pretty comfortable with him going to the charity stripe.
I would think so, but obviously on the Cardinals' behalf, you cannot put him at the line.
Cardinal mask out, dancing away in front of the Cardinal fans.
Is that the funky chicken?
It's the funky Cardinal.
Well, the cheerleaders are doing it. Well, and there's Red doing it.
That's right. They got the whole fan section doing it.
All right, Joe. Doesn't get any better than this. You know that.
24 seconds remaining in this overtime session.
The whole season comes down to 24.3 seconds, Howie.
Oh, my God.
One team is going to the state tournament after tonight. The other team ends their season. And it all hangs in the balance for 24 seconds. Jorgensen to Bronson on the left side. He brings it back up top. Beaudry, 10 seconds. Jorgensen, Bronson, 8 seconds. Jorgensen inside to Annan.
Good job
passes out.
defensively.
Jorgensen with a shot. It won't go. And we're going to a second overtime.
Wow.
Howie.
And, you know, obviously what they tried to do is move it inside to Annan. And they did, but a great defense by the Cardinals coming over and doubling them, not letting them get that move to the board.
Unbelievable. Yeah, Howie, I didn't even think about that when I mentioned it. The 7 overtime hockey game last year, where was it?
Champlain Park.
Where are we now?
Champlain Park.
Oh.
Oh, we mentioned earlier, Elk River, last time they were in this building, they lost. Certainly maybe not play their best basketball here at Champlain Park.
Only 2 points scored in that overtime, Howie.
Oh. Well, this is a situation, too, where it comes down to when in an overtime like this, especially as it gets a little bit later, you have to look for your best opportunity.
Another 4 minutes on the clock. The winner of this game will play the Osseo Orioles in the first round of the state tournament. That is next Tuesday. And again, a tip-off between Annan and Paulson. And the tip goes to the Elks. Vargas in the corner. He's fouled by AC Matthews, and Matthews is done.
Oh, that was a quick out for AC Matthews. He just came in here quickly at the beginning of this second overtime, and he picked up his 5th foul.
And Vargas goes to the line where he's 3 of 4. And both teams, I think, shooting 1 of 2 from the free throw line in that first overtime, and that was all the points that were scored. Vargas hits the first. Have we mentioned that these are pressure free throws?
No, I think they're about as pressure as you're ever going to get. And the one disadvantage for AC Matthews going out of the lineup for the Cardinals is you lose a lot of that athleticism.
Vargas hits them both. Doesn't seem to feel the pressure.
Or he thrives on it, one or the other.
One of the two. 2-point lead for the Elks. Drew Ryder into the corner. Matt Paulson back up top for Ryder. Sam Fortin looking for penetration. Give and go, gets it back from Paulson, finds some room, shoots, won't score. Jorgensen down with the rebound.
And that could be a costly miss, and that is going to be a turnover to the Cardinals.
Wow.
That is big. I actually thought that went off a Cardinal player.
Wow.
Wow.
Did I happen to mention wow?
There's a look at it. Here's the strip from behind by Paul Cito. And we'll see who that goes off of.
Oh, it goes.
No, it went off of Sam Fortin.
It went off of Sam Fortin, but a bad pass by Fortin, stolen by Vargas. He's fouled at the other end. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Oh, that was huge. That was huge, and just really an ill-advised pass by Fortin.
Well, and something you don't see very often is Sam throwing a bad pass.
No, you don't see him turning the ball off at all, and you can see out there a little disappointed with himself. Watch here, as he's just not going to read the play, trying to get the ball over to Amundsen, and gets it to Vargas instead. 1:42 after another. There's the foul.
Vargas hits the first. He can make it a 4-point game with 3:13 left in the second overtime. And he does.
Well, Josh Vargas comes back in the second overtime period, hits 4 free throws to put him up by 4.
He's got 18 points and 9 rebounds. Paul Cito kicks it out to Fortin. Cito again on the wing. working against Carlson, and he travels. He wanted a foul, but he won't get it.
Paul looks over at the referee and says, he pushed me. Referee says, no, he didn't.
The Elks with a chance to make it a 6, even 7-point lead. Vargas in the left corner will back it out. Up top, gets it back. Now to Jorgensen. And Fortin called for the foul. Jorgensen will go to the line.
You know, one thing we haven't mentioned, Joe, is the dominance of Elk River. You look at the boys, obviously, that win the state hockey tournament. The girls, very good chance to win the state basketball tournament. And the Elk River basketball team, boys, 2 minutes, 39 seconds with a 4-point lead away from going to state.
Jorgensen makes it a 5-point lead and can make it 6 with 2:39 to play in the second overtime. And he does. 58-52. Elk River, 2:35 to go in the second overtime.
Now, certainly there's plenty of time for the Cardinals to work their game, and certainly now we see the largest lead of the game here in the overtime period.
Well, for the Elks.
For the Elks,
the
correct.
Cardinals have had 6-point lead as well. But I guess this equals that, so it would be the largest lead of the night.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, you like it. But certainly now the Cardinals planning some strategy here. Really, 2 3-point plays away from tying this game up, and certainly they have the shooters to do it. We'll see if that's the strategy, the route they go. You know, certainly with high school basketball with no shot clock, obviously teams can hold it as long as they can continue to keep possession.
Well, the Cardinal fans are into it. They brought their signs, I believe. Can't tell under that hat. I think that's, no, it's not. I thought it was Carly Allen, but I wasn't sure. I don't think it is. Well, we have a ton, I think, of highlights from tonight's game coming at you on Sports Night on Monday. And if the Cardinals can pull this off, that means one more week. If the Elks can hold on, it will be our final show of the winter season.
Well, we certainly would like to extend our season at this situation.
Cardinals with a trailing by 6, but they have the ball. Ricky Taylor up top for Cito, and Fortin will bring him back up top.
The Cardinals with a quick athletic lineup in there.
Fortin drives and scores.
A nice move by Fortin to penetrate and get the basket. Cuts the lead to 4. You know, Elk River's going to take as much time off the clock as they possibly can.
Paulson almost stole it away, but Annan gets it and scores. That is his first basket of the game.
And certainly a tough situation because Matt Paulson comes out top to cover Annan, gets by him.
Sam Fortin throws up the 3, it won't go. Taylor had the rebound, but Beaudry stole it away. Other end, Bronson blocked by Paulson. Cardinals on the run. And Cito will go to the line.
And Paul takes a hard fall to the floor. Unfortunately, could not get that one to fall. Look at the block here by Matt Paulson as he charges up, gets the ball.
Did I happen to mention that he's probably the best blocker on the team?
Certainly a very great block by Matt Paulson. That's on Jorgensen. Jorgensen is done. That's his 5th foul. Elk River holding on to a 6-point lead. Paul Cito at the line, looking to cut it to 4.
Paul Cito is 2 for 2 from the line tonight.
Jake Carlson coming back in the lineup for Elk River.
Cito can cut it back to a 4-point lead. but he misses the first. And now we see all the point shooters added to the floor for the Cardinals. Drew Ryder checking in for Ricky Taylor. They have to keep Matt Paulson in there to have some sort of presence inside. Cito hits the second. It's a 5-point game. Carlson gets it to Beaudry, right side. Annan back to Bronson, back to Annan. He's fouled and scored.
And that's big. Again, working underneath to the big guy, Matt Annan. Strong underneath, takes it to the hole. Pushing the lead to 7.
I thought I heard a lot of hand versus rubber, but there's definitely a foul on that one, and Drew Ryder pretty well overmatched by Matt Annan. And Annan makes it an 8-point game with 1:21 left in the second overtime.
Well, if the Cardinals want to stay in this game, they're going to have to throw it up from way outside, trying to hit some threes to get back in with 1:21 left.
Fortin to Cito. Cito goes inside and scores.
Cardinals will pressure here.
Elks getting across midcourt. Beaudry gets it to Vargas. He'll back it out to Bronson. Minute to play. Beaudry on the left wing. Vargas in the corner. Playing with a 6-point lead. Fortin tried to get a hand in on the ball, but gets a hand on Beaudry. He'll send him to the line. That's Fortin's third.
Now Cardinals, I think maybe it took a little too much time off the clock before they fouled. They obviously have to get possession of the ball. The only way to do that is to put a man at the line or make a steal. And they weren't in the position to steal it.
And Beaudry misses badly. His first trip to the line tonight. He's got 14 points. 4 of them from behind the arc. Big rebound for Matt Paulson on the second loss, a second miss. Other end, and a bad pass, and a turnover back to the Elks.
I'm not sure if Ricky was thinking Paul was going to go to the outside. Paul went to the inside, and that pass went well over his head.
Vargas inbounds. Got it back from Bronson and gives it back. Bronson. And I think Cito was trying to foul there, but none called. Vargas. And now Annan on the baseline. He's fouled by Ricky Taylor, and that was not the one they wanted to foul.
Well, no, they obviously, Chase Beaudry's out of the lineup, so they, Coach Elk Rivers coach took him out of the lineup, making sure he wasn't going to get the, Coach Clausen, couldn't think of his name for a minute, took him out of the lineup to make sure that he was not going to get an opportunity to get the ball in his hands.
And Annan, a rare miss from the charity stripe. Dan Anderson checking back in for Coon Rapids, and now Matt Paulson goes out, and pure shooters on the floor for the Cardinals. Six points is the lead. Annan makes it 7.
And that's a tough situation. Down 7, 25 seconds left.
Makes it a 3-possession game. Cito for 3. Hard off the back iron. Fortin comes down with it. He pulls up for 3 and hits it.
The Cardinals take a quick timeout, trailing by 4. 14 seconds left in the game. Tough situation, down by 4, Joe. You're gonna have to talk about either a quick foul or a quick steal.
It's better than being down by 7, Howie.
Yeah, well, that is true. And certainly, if this is the final outcome of the game, Cardinals have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about.
Oh, absolutely
taking
nothing.
Elk River this deep into the playoffs, certainly. But we don't want to talk about that yet. Esposito with a three-point try, bounces hard off the back rim. Fortin's getting the ball. He's going to pull up for the three and hit it.
And he will be a big factor for this Cardinal team next season.
He certainly will. There's a good look at head coach Gary Rover. A little last-minute strategy as his team trails by 4. 14.3 seconds left in this second overtime period.
The Elks will have the ball in a 4-point lead. They have probably, I'm guessing, their best free throw shooters on the floor.
You would assume so.
I would. Long pass, Matt Hannon down court, and he lost the ball out of bounds.
And the good thing about that, not a lot of time went off the clock.
Only a second.
And that was a smart play.
And now Coach Clausen wants a timeout.
That was a very smart play by Coach Clausen to get that opportunity. Matt Hannon could have grabbed a hold of it. That would have put it away for the Elks with a 6-point lead. But now the Cardinals' opportunity to try and cut into this lead and see what they can do.
If you had told me before the game that we were going to 2 overtimes and that it would be this close and this exciting a game, I would have bet against you.
Well, I wouldn't have bet you because I wouldn't have thought that it would have gone to 2 overtimes as well. Good crowd here tonight watching this contest.
Yeah, smiles on everybody's faces. It's certainly everything you could have asked for.
Well, this crowd has seen a phenomenal game.
And one that these players will never forget.
No, definitely not.
You don't get this close to the state tournament and go this far, go to 2 overtimes and forget it.
No. Obviously, you want to come out on top and go to that state tournament, but certainly, again, both teams played a great game. Dan Anderson's going to take the ball out for Coon Rapids.
And the Cardinals will look to score fast into the hands of Sam Fortin. He's on the run across midcourt. Steps up, gets a 3-pointer off and hits it.
And that is huge. But that is going to do it. That is going to do it.
The Elks don't even have to inbound. They win. They hold on 64-63. Unbelievable.
And a very disappointed Cardinal bench. And certainly, again, as we talked about, there is nothing for them to hang their heads out. But you look at, they were 1 point away from going to the state tournament. And that in itself has to be disappointing.
Well, yeah, disappointing is a minor understatement, I think, Howie. But an unbelievable game played by both teams tonight. They put their hearts on the floor, and they came to play. Both teams, the Elk River Elks, a little bit happier at the end of the night. They're on their way to a state tournament berth, and the Cardinals will end their season. It's definitely an emotional and hard loss to take for the Cardinals, especially the Cardinal seniors. But they've got to know that they put together a very strong run in the final game of the season and in the playoffs. Played their best basketball down the stretch. I think the turnaround really came in the game against Osseo when they took the #1 rated team right down to the wire. And ever since have just played very strong basketball. And something that they've done tonight, that has been questionable, I should say, all season long is their consistency. And they were very consistent tonight and probably played their best basketball game of the season.
Well, and we talked about it in the opening. If they're going to have an opportunity to win this game, they will have to be consistent. They will have to play as well as they did against Osseo, and they certainly did here tonight. They had some opportunities. They were early before the overtime period to try and win this game. Couldn't get it to go. But again, certainly the Cardinals have to be very happy with the way they played. Not happy with the outcome, but happy with the way that they gave this Elk River team a battle right down to the final seconds.
Cardinals will be getting their second place medallions for the Section 7 4A tournament. And a bittersweet moment for the Cardinals.
Oh, a very bittersweet moment. Obviously, we talked about going into the season. Did they think they were going to come away with a second place medal in the sectionals? Probably not. But disappointment on the other end by the fact that, you know what, they were a point away from going to the state.
That's right, and a lot of youth on this Cardinal team as well to build on. Sam Fortin, certainly going to be a big factor next season. He will be their leading point guard, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and you know we've talked about the youth and the younger players coming up. Certainly the Cardinals have some good potential down the road, but you know potential is just that. And looking at this team, you can see the disappointment on their face. They wanted to go to state, but again, nothing to hang your head about.
The Elks showing very good sportsmanship, coming out to shake the Cardinals fans as they accept their second place medals. And Dan Anderson, one of the seniors on the squad, of course, the seniors taking it harder than anyone else.
And I think you look at a player like Dan Anderson, probably one of the most improved players on this team. Went from a year off of basketball, coming back to the team, and then down the stretch became a starter. And you know, certainly you attribute the fact that Dan is a very smart kid, very great athlete, and a great leader.
And Paul Cito is going to be missed dearly by this Cardinal program. One of the seniors, Brett Amundsen, another senior that will now graduate. And what a tough way, but a very memorable way to end your career, your high school career. A.C. Matthews, another junior who will be back and an important part of this Cardinal team next season.
Oh, without a doubt, and certainly you talk about the seniors and the fact that, you know, your career here, your 4 years here playing basketball is over. You look at a guy like Paul Cito, who's been a leader for this team, you know, going into the season. He's the one player in general that teams will focus on to try and stop, and certainly he's had a great career here.
And there is the plaque that will make its way to Coon Rapids High School and forever immortalize this team's valiant effort in the playoffs. Second place in the Section 7 4A tournament.
There's Paul Cito holding up the second place trophy, getting pats of congratulations from his teammates, handing off to Ricky Taylor, another one of the seniors.
And now we will award medals to the Section 7 4A.
And now the champion, there you see Gary Rover, has to be very proud of the way his team played down the stretch in the season and here in the playoffs. And just a very tough way to lose in double overtime. But now they will announce the Section 7 4A champions, the Elk River Elks. They are headed to the state tournament, and their first game will come against a very strong opponent, the Osseo Orioles, a team that has really had their way with just about everybody in the Northwest Suburban Conference. But I'm getting the word from the truck, Howie, that we're running out of tape, so we will not be able to see the entire award presentation for this Elks team. Just remember, there's their championship plaque, and remember, this is a very young team, only one senior starter, and they will have a year of a great amount of experience from this season, headed to the state tournament with a very strong young club. But that will do it for this broadcast from Champlain Park High School. For all of us at CTN, we want to thank you for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Larry Cassidy and Mr. Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.